My name is Lucas Hill Foster, and I'm in the Engineering, Physics, and Society program. I'm in my third year at McMaster University. I'm a first-year graduate student.
I'm in biochem.
Sociology at McMaster.
I've been using bike share since my first year, so about 2 years now.
For about a year now.
8 years or 7 years now? Yeah.
So for me, the main way I use bike share is I'll kind of use it as like the last mile or so of travel.
I love the bike share. It really just gives me an easy transportation method. Like no matter where I am, it's like I can always rely on it. It's quick. I love to be outside and exercise as much as I can, so I'd much prefer to be on a bike than on a bus.
I find that it's great for my health, and I think it's like my favorite way of getting in exercise.
Sometimes I use bike share as like a break to get from studying, so I go on trails around campus.
So I live on the mountain where there's no coverage yet, at least. So whenever I'm in the area, just to get around Westdale, I find it very helpful. If I ever drive down, it's nice to get from where there is free parking to McMaster as well. So I think there's a lot of utility in it, even for people who drive.
Like many in Hamilton, I don't always feel comfortable to lock up my own bike in places, and also my landlord won't let me keep a bike at my house. So currently, having access to Sobe is the only way that I can bike around Hamilton, which is honestly my favorite way to get around. And having access to the bikes as part of our fees has been really a game changer for me and helped me to get around the city in a much more enjoyable way.
We don't really have something similar in Toronto, where I'm from. When we do have it, it's not as comprehensive, there's not as many stations, and there is by no means the same amount of coverage that we have here. I am very actively involved in hiking. I volunteer at the McMaster Community Garden, and one of the things that we try and emphasize is making sure that we're getting our members active in a way that's sustainable.
I think that having accessible transportation available, especially for students, but also for anyone in the city, for people who either can't afford their own bikes, or it's not possible for them to have a bike, or you're in an apartment building where you can't have a bike, like having bike share makes cycling accessible. And as a cyclist, I just think that's so important, especially given how important sustainable transportation is, how important low carbon transportation is. Having bike share available for as many people as possible is crucial.
And what is one thing that you would say to City Council?
Yeah, I would say I think this program is really valuable for students, especially not a lot of people have the opportunity to have a car here. They frequently rely on public transit, and as great as public transit is, there's always going to be gaps, especially when there's times that it's very busy or late at night. I think the bike share offers a great incentive, and it keeps people active and healthy, and it lets people explore Hamilton and kind of get to know the city better.
I would say that we're getting to a point in sort of the history of the earth where getting cars off the road is pretty important, and the bike share system is a way to do that. We should be doing anything we can to make that happen.
Especially if you don't own a bike or if you can't afford a bike. It's so affordable for me as a low-income student to go biking whenever I want, and it helps me get to class.
Bike share is a really, really important way to help climate change, because as individuals, we can do our part. And so instead of having to drive and increase the traffic on the road, we're making things safer because we're reducing the number of cars, but also making things a very environmentally and physically accessible way to get around.
When it comes to creating public infrastructure like this, it's absolutely essential that they make it as easy to use and as simple to use as possible. And I would say that those are one of the things that bike share does great right now, especially with the coverage for McMaster students. I think that funding livable and healthy communities is way more worthy than any monetary metric. And so I just think that bike share is this invaluable part of the McMaster community, and I think it can be a valuable part of the larger Hamilton community, and so it would be a crime to remove this funding.
Please continue funding Hamilton Bike Share.
Please continue funding 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 bike share.